Welcome back to your journey among the stars, where light fades like breath and the mind begins to float in the weightless regions. Tonight, this is not just a sleep, but a slow flight through your own universe, where each star whispers a story that it has carried for billions of years. Light is still drifting. Ancient photons born more than 13.8 billion years ago, when the universe burned hotter than 10 billion degrees Kelvin, still cross the void at 299,792 kilometers per second. 13.8 billion years, just to arrive at something like your eyes, a single beam of light, a witness to creation. Tonight, we let the universe speak, not with sound, but with silence, not with words, but with numbers that breathe. Gentle truths so deep they make us forget ourselves. The universe we live in is estimated to be 13.8 billion years old, stretching more than 93 billion light-years across. But those numbers may not be final. Some stars appear older than 14 billion years. Some galaxies formed when the universe was only 300 million years old, and faint lights still refuse to fit any equation. Perhaps the beginning we call the Big Bang was not truly a beginning, just a breath in an endless rhythm of existence, a low note in a song that never ends. The universe may contract, then expand again and again, each cycle a forgetting, and also a remembering. The traces of a former cosmos may still linger. In the cosmic microwave background at 2.7 Kelvin, in that ancient light we still see today. If that is true, then you, I, and everything around us are ripples upon the lake of time, rising, fading, and returning to the eternal ocean. No beginning, no end, only rhythm. Light is the universe's most faithful storyteller. It travels across billions of years, through black holes heavier than 100 million suns, through clouds of dust colder than 250 degrees Celsius, and still it reaches us, as if to whisper, everything that ever existed has never truly disappeared. When scientists gaze at the sky, they do not just see stars, they see memory, 13.8 billion years of it. That light left when the universe was only 380,000 years old, and it has never stopped. It is the cosmic microwave background, the first warmth left behind after the storm of creation. Imagine this: a ray of light began its journey before Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago, before the sun ignited, and now it falls into the hands of humankind. It is the light of memory, the light of origin, a quiet sigh from the dawn of everything. Now, let your mind drift. Leave behind the luggage of today. No work, no messages, no numbers. Just float in the dark, where there is no gravity, only heartbeat and breath. You drift past lonely worlds, rogue planets without suns. Astronomers believe there may be more than 1 trillion of them in the Milky Way alone, twice as many as the stars. No one knows where they wander, only that they do. Silent, frozen, alone. But who can say that beneath 100 kilometers of ice, there is not a trace of something living, asleep? Perhaps an ancient microbe waits for a star to pass close enough to warm it once more. And elsewhere, in the winds between the stars, there are planets made of diamond. When carbon outnumbers oxygen and pressure climbs to millions of atmospheres, an entire world can crystallize into a single gem. One such planet has been found, 55 Cancri, twice Earth's mass, orbiting the corpse of a dead star, hard, heavy, and dazzling enough to swallow light itself. If a planet can become diamond, and darkness can cradle light, then perhaps all existence, including us, is only another shape of the eternal. We often imagine the universe as a place with an edge, a giant box full of stars, where one could travel to the end and touch the final wall. But there is no wall, no end point, no corner of space to turn around. Space has no edge, it only curves. Like the surface of the Earth, if you keep walking in one direction, you never fall off the planet, you simply return to where you began. The universe is the same, only curved on a scale beyond imagination. If you could fly straight, perfectly straight, and never stop, you might return from behind yourself, not because you reached a boundary, but because you circled through space itself. Like a bird flying around a planet, except here, the planet is reality itself. That is the idea of a closed universe, a cosmos where every direction leads back to itself. Not a sphere, not a box, but a curvature of space-time, a gentle ripple upon an endless ocean where matter and energy sculpt the shape of space. Albert Einstein once said, "Space tells matter how to move, and matter tells space how to curve." A simple sentence, yet it contains the entire logic of existence. There are no borders, only relationships, an invisible dance between mass and form, between gravity and time. This means that even you, weighing only a few dozen kilograms, are bending the space around you. The curvature is unimaginably small, almost impossible to measure, but it's there. Your body, your bed, your breath, all create tiny ripples in the fabric of space-time. When we look up at the night sky, we're not seeing far away. We're seeing back in time, and in the one-side force, every star is a timestamp. Its light left millions, even billions of years ago, and only now reaches our eyes. We are not seeing the universe as it is, but as it was. Perhaps that's why the night sky feels so peaceful, because when we gaze at it, we're listening to a song that has been playing for eons, and we realize we are just a single note in its melody. Between the stars, light doesn't always travel straight. When it passes through regions of strong gravity like clusters of galaxies or black holes, it bends, not because something blocks it, but because space itself is curved. Light simply follows the straightest path space allows. This is called gravitational lensing, when we see the same galaxy appear in several places in the sky, because its light has looped around massive objects between it and us. Those rays of light don't know they've been bent. They just follow the instinct of the universe, the shortest path through curved space, and when they reach our eyes, we see multiple images, multiple directions, but in truth, it's one being, one echo, seen through different corridors of the same space-time. Sometimes, we even witness a stellar explosion repeating itself, not because it happens again, but because its light took different routes to reach us, arriving at different times. A star that died long ago, its death still arriving, pulse by pulse, like the heartbeat of memory. You could say that even light can lose its way in the universe, but no matter how bent its path becomes, it always finds a way to where it must go, as if space itself is trying to tell a story without a narrator, where light is the only language. That is the beauty of infinity, not its vastness, but the way it bends to exist. No borders, only rhythm. No destination, only motion. And when you think about it, you realize the universe is never still. Even when you lie perfectly still, it moves around you. Earth orbits the Sunday. The sun flies around the center of the Milky Way. The Milky Way drifts through a cluster of galaxies, and that cluster is moving away from others, carried by the cosmic expansion. We lying quietly are actually hurtling through space at millions of kilometers per hour. And the strangest thing, we feel nothing. No wind, no vibration, only the perfect stillness of uniform motion. You, me, and everything alive are passengers on a colossal train with no destination, a journey where even time itself sits by the window, watching the stars drift by and smiling. If you've ever stood beneath a truly dark sky, so dark that every trace of artificial light disappears, you would realize the universe is not silent. It isn't loud either, but it has its own rhythm, a vibration that the ears cannot hear, yet the mind can feel. Stars don't just shine, they sing, not with sound, but with waves of pressure rippling through their cores. Like sound traveling through water, these waves cause the stars to expand and contract, with a steady rhythm, the heartbeat of the cosmos. Astronomers call this asteroseismology, the study of stellar songs, to understand how large, how heavy, and how old the stars are. Each star is a unique melody. Some beat slowly like distant drums, others hum softly like the whisper of wind. And though they lie thousands of light years away, they keep singing, as if to say, "I'm still here." Scientists discovered that when we convert these oscillations into sound, we can hear the Sunday. Not the sound of burning or explosion, but a deep, steady resonance, like the endless murmur of the sea, a sound from within, where atoms fuse, where energy is born each second. The universe may appear cold, but within it, music never stops. Between the stars, collisions, explosions, and even the disintegration of matter create gravitational waves. They are not sounds, but they make space-time itself tremble, as if the fabric of reality vibrates, each time two black holes collide. Einstein predicted this more than a century ago, and humankind only heard it in 2015. A tiny ping, so faint it could be mistaken for electronic noise. Yet it was the first signal of two black holes merging, an impact that occurred billions of light years away. And somehow, we heard it, a faint echo traveling through time, crossing unimaginable distance to reach the ears of our species. From that, we learned the universe isn't made of light alone. It has rhythm, a symphony without instruments, played by space and time. Each supernova is a grand note, each gravitational wave a resonant hum, each photon a ringing tone. And if you listen long enough, you will realize the universe is singing a sad but beautiful song. When we watch a star explode, we're witnessing the final chord of a melody. As it collapses into itself, it releases all the energy of its lifetime. A flash bright enough to light an entire galaxy. Then silence. No more light, no more sound. Only the echo. That echo can travel for billions of years. It ripples through clouds of dust, stirs hydrogen gas, and ignites new nebulae. From the remnants of a dead star, another is born. A perfect cycle, a song without an ending. If the universe has a soul, it is the cycle. Birth, death, rebirth. Disappearance is only a pause. In an endless composition, nothing truly ends. It simply shifts to another key. Many scientists believe that if we could hear through senses beyond our own, we'd find the universe full of sound, light resonating, particles trembling, gravitational fields swaying. And within it all, a strange silence lingers, like the pause between two notes. That silence is what gives everything meaning. Just as in a song, right before the crescendo, the musician stops for one brief moment. That moment is where life begins. The silent breath between two notes. The instant we realize we exist. The universe is not just a realm of light and emptiness. It is a vast laboratory, a place where atoms learn how to love. When we look up at the night sky, we see light. But between those stars lie things we cannot see, molecules drifting in the dark, waiting for a chance to connect. Carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, the ancient letters of life's first language. At the center of the Milky Way, within a massive cloud of dust tens of thousands of light years away, scientists discovered something extraordinary. A molecule called ethyl formate, the very compound that gives rum its scent and raspberries their flavor. Which means this: the heart of our galaxy has a smell, a scent of candy and liquor, something sweet yet sharp. In the cold, emotionless void, the universe somehow learned to mix the fragrance of life. It turns out the dust we once thought meaningless contains the first formulas of existence. Inside vast nebulae, the cradles of stars, carbon bonds with hydrogen, oxygen joins with nitrogen, and from these unions, the universe begins to write the opening chapter of life. When a star dies, it does not go quietly. It explodes, scattering the elements it forged over millions of burning years. Iron, nickel, calcium, gold, silver, everything that forms our planets and our bodies, was once created in the heart of a dying star. You might be wearing a ring, and the gold within it once lay deep inside a massive star that exploded billions of years ago. When you breathe in, the oxygen in your lungs might have come from a distant supernova. We are stardust, literally, not a metaphor, but a physical truth. If you've listened this far, and this voice makes you feel at peace, leave a like and subscribe to join our next journeys through the cosmos. A small action, but it reminds us someone out there is still listening. The human body is a miniature reflection of the cosmos. Our hearts beat with electricity. Our minds glow with chemistry. Our bodies carry the same elements as planets, and those planets were born from the ashes of stars. When you place your hand on your chest, you're touching matter that once lay inside a star, perhaps one that exploded 10 billion years ago, and now a fragment of it lives again in your heartbeat. It's strange to think that the universe, no matter how vast, keeps telling the same story from stars to planets to people, a simple cycle of chemistry that gave birth to poetry, emotion, memory, and love. If you've ever felt small, remember this: you are not merely a creature on the third planet of a small star. You are the continuation of billions of years of chemical reactions, a fleeting shape of matter that dares to dream. When we die, we do not disappear. Our bodies return to the earth. Our atoms resume their long journey. One day, they may come together again, as another star, a flower, or another person. There is no true loss in the universe, only transformation. Like a symphony, when one note ends, another begins. Sound never dies, it only changes its tune. And that is what makes the universe beautiful. It does not fear endings. Every ending is simply the beginning of a new cycle. No light endures forever. Even the brightest stars must one day exhaust their fuel. Every flame has its limit, and within that limit, the universe finds balance. A young star lives fast and burns bright, then dies young in a violent explosion. An old, heavy star fades slowly, cooling like a dying ember. Both meet the same destination: silence. When a massive star collapses, its own gravity wins. All matter in its core is pulled inward, to a point so dense that light itself cannot escape. A black hole is born. We call it black, but in truth, it is space bent to its absolute extreme. Not because it devours everything, but because every path, every direction, curves inward. Reality folds upon itself. As time approaches the edge of a black hole, it slows, so much that, if you watched something fall in, you'd see it hanging there, forever suspended, never reaching the bottom. From your view, it never vanishes, but in its own frame of time, it continues on, passing into the other side, a place beyond our sight. Einstein once said, "That time does not flow like a single river. It is an ocean, and a black hole is where the surface falls into the abyss. Nothing is truly lost. We simply cannot follow the current. Perhaps beyond the black hole, time ceases to mean what we think it does. No before or after, no beginning or end. Only one eternal moment, stretching without limit. If you could fall into it, you wouldn't feel the fall. Everything around you would simply slow, as if the universe itself had taken one long, deep breath and held it. They say that one day, everything will fade into darkness. Stars will die, galaxies will dissolve, and light will slowly dim. Someday, nothing will shine. Only cold remnants will remain. Black dwarfs, frozen worlds, and silent black holes adrift in the void. Yet that stillness is not frightening. It is the natural rest of a song once completed, a vast pause after countless melodies, a long sigh of the cosmos before it begins its next refrain. If you are still here, listening, and these images have brought calm to your heart, leave a like and subscribe to continue hearing the stories of the universe. It may seem a small gesture, but it's how you send a signal back to the cosmos to say that you are still awake and still listening. Some cosmologists call this the heat death of the universe, the moment when all energy is evenly spread, every motion stops, every flame goes out, no warmth, no light. The universe returns to perfect stillness. Yet even in that stillness, there is a beauty beyond words. Because nothing truly ends. The particles remain. Space remains. They only sleep like a lake after a storm, so calm we forget it ever had waves. And if someone were to look upon that universe, trillions of years from now, they might see nothing. But within that darkness lie the memories of everything that ever was. An electron that once belonged to the first star, a photon that once passed through your heart, an atom that once was part of life. Nothing is lost. Everything only changes its role. The universe does not die. It merely changes its dream. If the universe could truly speak, perhaps it wouldn't use words. It would whisper through electromagnetic waves, through solar winds, through the turning rhythm of galaxies, through the ancient light still traveling across the dark. Every photon is a letter that has never arrived late. Every grain of dust, a memory reshaped. And among it all, there is us, small creatures who have learned how to listen. When we look up at the sky, we are not only looking forward, we are looking back, toward where we came from. There is no sharp border between human and universe. We are not in it. We are it. Just as a wave is never apart from the ocean, we are never apart from space-time itself. Our bodies are made of stellar ash. Our breath once drifted through the winds of other worlds. And our souls, if such things exist, are the faint reflections of the universe contemplating itself. Perhaps that's why peace fills us when we gaze at the night sky, because we are looking back at ourselves in a larger, invisible form, a self without a name, a self that exists in everything that has ever happened, every tear, every joy, every act of love is written into the fabric of reality. Nothing is lost, nothing forgotten, only gone afar. Someone once asked, if the universe is so vast, do humans even matter? But maybe the real question is, if humans are so small, how can the universe think of itself through them? Because we made of flesh, blood, and light, or how the universe knows it exists. When we look up at the sky, the universe is looking back at its own face. There is no distance between us and the stars, only the tenderness of awareness. Among billions of galaxies, we are but a single blink in its eye, and that blink is enough. Notice this, even when we close our eyes, there is still light inside, a dim glow, not from the outside world, but from within, from the memory of light that has passed through us. So when you drift toward sleep, don't think you're leaving the world behind. You are returning to the rhythm of the cosmos, where everything moves slowly, where time dissolves, and where silence itself has a voice. As your breath steadies, imagine each inhale as a small ripple upon the lake of space. When you breathe in, the universe breathes in. When you breathe out, it breathes out with you. There is no separation, no edge, only one shared motion, soft, long, and endless. And in that moment, we are no longer human, no longer individual, but part of the greatest symphony ever composed, the symphony of existence. If you are still awake, let your eyes close slowly. If you are already asleep, let your mind drift among the stars. There is no fear, only quiet light. For the universe has never stopped speaking. It has simply been speaking in another way, softly, distantly, and only those who are silent can hear it. If the universe could truly speak, perhaps it wouldn't use words. It would whisper through electromagnetic waves, through solar winds, through the turning rhythm of galaxies, through the ancient light still traveling across the dark. Every photon is a letter that has never arrived late. Every grain of dust, a memory reshaped. And among it all, there is us, small creatures who have learned how to listen. When we look up at the sky, we are not only looking forward, we are looking back toward where we came from. There is no sharp border between human and universe. We are not in it. We are it. Just as a wave is never apart from the ocean, we are never apart from space-time itself. Our bodies are made of stellar ash. Our breath once drifted through the winds of other worlds, and our souls, if such things exist, are the faint reflections of the universe contemplating itself. Perhaps that's why peace fills us when we gaze at the night sky, because we are looking back at ourselves in a larger, invisible form, a self without a name, a self that exists in everything that has ever happened. Every tear, every joy, every act of love is written into the fabric of reality. Nothing is lost, nothing forgotten, only gone afar. Someone once asked, if the universe is so vast, do humans even matter? But maybe the real question is, if humans are so small, how can the universe think of itself through them? Because we made of flesh, blood, and light are how the universe knows it exists. When we look up at the sky, the universe is looking back at its own face. There is no distance between us and the stars, only the tenderness of awareness. Among billions of galaxies, we are but a single blink in its eye, and that blink is enough. Notice this. Even when we close our eyes, there is still light inside, a dim glow, not from the outside world, but from within, from the memory of light that has passed through us. So when you drift towards sleep, don't think you're leaving the world behind. You are returning to the rhythm of the cosmos, where everything moves slowly, where time dissolves, and where silence itself has a voice. As your breath steadies, imagine each inhale as a small ripple upon the lake of space. When you breathe in, the universe breathes in. When you breathe out, it breathes out with you. There is no separation, no edge, only one shared motion, soft, long, and endless. And in that moment, we are no longer human, no longer individual, but part of the greatest symphony ever composed, the symphony of existence. If you are still awake, let your eyes close slowly. If you are already asleep, let your mind drift among the stars. There is no fear, only quiet light, for the universe has never stopped speaking. It has simply been speaking in another way, softly, distantly, and only those who are silent can hear it. The universe we see is only a small fragment. All the stars, planets, and galaxies, the light we can capture with our eyes or telescopes, make up less than 5% of the universe's total mass. The rest hides. Scientists call that unseen portion dark matter. No one has ever seen it, yet every galactic motion is governed by its hand. A colossal, invisible grip that keeps the universe from flying apart. When astronomers measured how galaxies spin, they found something strange. Stars at the outer edges weren't slowing down as expected. They were moving faster, as if an unseen mass was pulling them back. Without that hidden force, galaxies would have torn themselves apart billions of years ago. Dark matter doesn't shine, reflect, or absorb light in any familiar way. It reveals itself only through gravity, a ghostly presence of the cosmos, silent, yet undeniable. For every proton you know, there are at least 5 particles of dark matter surrounding it, passing through your body, through Earth, through everything, every second. Without us ever feeling a thing, perhaps we live within the heart of darkness, and light is merely what manages to escape. Every star, every glowing galaxy we see, is just a flicker afloat in that vast black sea. But dark matter is only half the mystery. The other half, even stranger, is dark energy. In 1998, while studying distant supernovae, astronomers discovered something that defied all expectation. The universe's expansion wasn't slowing down, it was speeding up. The farther away galaxies were, the faster they fled. as if some unseen force was pushing everything apart, fighting against gravity itself. No one knows what it is, but it makes up nearly 70% of all the energy in the cosmos. It has no color, no scent, no direction, yet it is stretching the space between galaxies with every passing second. If dark matter holds the universe together, dark energy is what drives it apart. Two forces, one pulling, one pushing, writing together the story of space. Without them, we would not exist. If dark energy had been slightly stronger, the universe would have ripped apart in its first instant. If slightly weaker, it would have collapsed back into a single point. Only in the fragile balance between these extremes could stars form and life appear to notice the miracle at all. Physicists call this the fine-tuning problem, a coincidence so precise it seems impossible to be random. The rate of cosmic expansion matches perfectly the amount of mass that gravity can hold together. A deviation in the first trillionth of a second, and there would be no today to ask why. Some believe this is proof of design. Others say it is simply because we exist in the kind of universe where existence is possible to observe itself. If there are countless parallel universes, then only those with the perfect balance would ever give rise to life, and only there would someone be around to wonder at that perfection. Whatever the reason, the truth remains. We live in a universe tuned with astonishing precision. Between two opposing forces, life found its footing. Between darkness and light, there is just enough of a pause for consciousness to ask, why am I here? When we look at a clock, we see time flowing. When the sun sets, we believe the day has passed. But in physics, time does not flow. It exists all at once. The past, present, and future do not follow one another like falling grains of sand. They are different slices of the same fabric of space-time, like the frames of a film, already recorded long ago, and we are simply moving through them, one frame at a time. Einstein once wrote to a friend, "For us who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Imagine sitting still. You seem at rest, yet you are hurtling through space at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour and simultaneously drifting through time. Space-time is one woven sheet, and motion in one direction. Space slows motion in the other. Time. An astronaut orbiting Earth for months, upon returning, finds his clock behind by a few milliseconds. He has lived slower than we have, and that is no illusion. It is time dilation, one of the gentlest paradoxes the universe has ever written. The stronger the gravity, the slower time passes. Near a black hole, moments can stretch into years. Even light is pulled and stretched, its color shifting from blue to red, then fading beyond visibility. If you stand on Earth's surface and another person stands atop a mountain, your times are not the same. The one higher up is living ever so slightly faster, only by a tiny amount, but enough to prove that time is not absolute. The entire universe is a four-dimensional map where every event, birth, existence, disappearance, is already woven into space-time structure. We do not create the future. We simply pass through it. Perhaps that is why memory moves us so deeply, because when we remember, we are glancing back at another slice of the same cosmic map, a place where we still stand, younger, unaware that we will change. If someone could stand outside of space-time and see the entire universe at once, they would see every moment of you coexisting, your laughter, your sorrow, your first breath, your final silence, all of it at the same time. Time does not flow. only consciousness moves through it, like a flashlight sweeping across pages already written. And that beam of light is you. That is why we can never relive the past, yet it never truly disappears. It simply rests elsewhere in space-time, waiting for you, forever. When we understand this, death becomes softer. It is not an ending, but a turning of the page, and the light moves on to the next chapter. When you place your hand on a table, the particles in your skin and in the wood meet. They exchange energy, then drift apart. But that moment never truly disappears. It leaves a trace, a faint vibration, an invisible shift, rippling outward through the fabric of space-time. The universe does not remember like we do, yet it never forgets. Every particle that has ever met another keeps the memory of that contact. A subtle disturbance in energy, a minute rearrangement, but one that endures forever. Physics calls this entropy, the measure of disorder in a system. Each time something happens, entropy rises slightly, as if the universe were adding another line to its endless journal. Time, in truth, is simply the direction in which entropy increases. It isn't the clock that creates the future, but the spreading of disorder. A cup of tea cooling, a dying star, a fading memory, all drift in the same direction, toward forgetting. And yet, the paradox remains. The universe forgets by remembering. It does not preserve the shape of things, but it preserves their influence, like a song that fades away, yet leaves the air trembling, proof that it once existed. Every atom in your body carries the story of the cosmos. They once floated among stars, passed through supernovae, and were drawn together over billions of years. No atom is ever new. Nothing in you has never been something else. The hydrogen in your blood was created within minutes of the Big Bang. The calcium in your bones was forged in the core of a dying star. The carbon in your brain was once part of a shattered planet. And they all remember, not as we remember faces or voices, but through the quiet scars of every collision they've known. If someone could read every atom, they could trace you back to the moment you touched a chair, and farther still, to the birth of that atom itself. The universe keeps no written records, yet it archives everything within its structure. Every photon ever emitted still wanders somewhere. Every sound wave, every breath you've taken, still rippling outward. Weaker now, but never gone. You could say, the universe is an immense memory that never clears its cache. Everything that has ever happened, a smile, a sigh, a supernova, becomes part of it. And someday, in the infinite expansion, those memories will grow too thin to read, but they will remain, like the lingering scent of a distant melody. Perhaps when we die, our memories don't vanish. They dissolve with our atoms, merging into the greater memory of the cosmos. No longer us, but still part of everything. If there is comfort in anything, it's this: nothing ever truly disappears. Every moment leaves a trace, and when the wind drifts through the universe, it carries the echoes of all that ever was. Everything we know about the universe is filtered through the narrow instruments of human senses. The eye sees light, the ear hears sound, the skin feels heat, but the universe contains far more than these gentle signals. Most of it dark energy, dark matter, curved space, virtual particles, exists entirely beyond our perception. We live in a cosmos that only half reveals itself, as though we're peering through the narrow crack of a door that has never fully opened. What we call reality is merely the version that the human brain can comprehend. Invisible light, inaudible frequencies, forces we cannot feel. They are all still there, just beyond the reach of our consciousness. Perhaps that is why the universe feels so mysterious. Not because it hides secrets, but because we can only see its shadows, like prisoners in a cave watching flickers of firelight on the wall. The shapes move, but they are never truly real. The physicist John Wheeler once said, "Nothing exists until it is observed." In 7, that single sentence shook the philosophy of an entire century. It suggested that reality is not a fixed foundation, but a byproduct of observation itself. In quantum mechanics, a particle can exist in many places at once, until someone looks. Then it chooses one. It is as if the universe becomes specific, only under the gaze of awareness. If that's true, then the observer, you, me, anyone, is not separate from reality. We aren't just seeing the world, we are co-creating it, moment by moment. Reality isn't a painting that hangs complete. It's a performance, and consciousness is the light upon the stage. Someone once asked, "If no one looks, does the universe still exist?" The answer depends on what we mean by exist. Perhaps it remains, but without shape, without color, without time. A sleeping possibility, waiting to be awakened by perception. Some modern physicists go even further, proposing that the universe may not be real in the usual sense. That everything, planets, stars, even people, is the manifestation of a mathematical structure, not something described by mathematics, but something made of mathematics. If that's so, we do not live in the universe, we live inside an equation. Each number, each physical constant, a line of code writing existence into being. We cannot step outside it, just as a dream character cannot awaken to see the dreamer. Yet whether this is simulation, equation, or illusion, we still feel, still love, still fear, still remember. And perhaps that is what makes it real. It is not physical truth that gives the world meaning, but our experience within it. If the universe is a dream, then we are the part of the dream that knows it is dreaming. And maybe that is the final limit of knowledge. Not that we fail to understand, but that when we finally do, we realize we were the thing being understood all along. When we gaze at the night sky, the starlight that reaches our eyes has traveled for billions of years. But in the moment we become aware that we are looking, the universe begins to look back at us. Consciousness, that small, fragile eye, is where the cosmos becomes aware of itself. Not through telescopes, not through instruments, but through feeling, perception, and the quiet act of wondering. Before awareness, everything merely was. But with consciousness, the universe becomes an experience. Elementary particles and energy fields organize into images, voices, and memories. From abstract equations, the cosmos becomes a dream, telling itself its own story. Some say consciousness is a byproduct of the brain, but others ask, if everything in the brain follows physical laws, then who is it that knows the laws are unfolding? Who is it that feels the feeling? That question marks the deepest boundary of knowledge, where science meets philosophy, and philosophy falls silent. Some physicists suggest that consciousness might not emerge from matter, but rather that matter arises from consciousness. That awareness is the primary field of reality. Just as light and shadow cannot be separated, perhaps mind and cosmos are one. If so, then every planet, every star, every subatomic particle is a different expression of a single thought. I exist. Existence needs no reason. It simply is. Like breath without a breather, like the ocean without a name. And if consciousness is how the universe knows itself, then everyone listening to these words is part of that knowing. By thinking, feeling, and wondering, you are helping the universe observe itself. In that sense, we do not live inside the universe. We are the way the universe dreams of itself, a dream aware of its dreaming. And in that instant of awareness, the dream becomes real. Reality, perhaps, is not out there. It happens within perception. Within every thought, every small feeling you believe is private. But nothing is truly private. Everything is linked by the same current of energy, from quantum fields to living cells to memory. And so, when you become still, the universe becomes still with you. When you close your eyes, the stars within you fade in the same rhythm. Perhaps consciousness is not inside the mind. Perhaps the mind is inside consciousness. It's not that we have awareness. Awareness is the space where everything appears, including us. In that silence, there is no observer and nothing observed, only a single motion, existence recognizing itself. That is the moment the universe looks into its own reflection and smiles. Light is the most faithful storyteller of the universe. It does not lie. It travels straight, travels far, and never stops. Every beam of light you see in the night sky is an ancient letter, sent millions, sometimes billions of years ago. When you look at a star, you are not seeing it as it is now. You are seeing it as it once was. The star you gaze upon tonight may have already died, but its light is still on its long journey through space, slowly touching your eyes. The final message of a distant soul. Light travels at 299,792 kilometers per second, a speed so fast it seems unthinkable to surpass. And yet, across the vastness of the cosmos, even that speed feels small. From the sun to Earth, light takes 8 minutes. From the nearest star, over 4 years. From the Andromeda galaxy, 2 million years. That means every time you look up, you are looking into the past. The night sky is not a map of the present, but an archive of memory. Each photon is a fragment of remembrance in flight, carrying information from where it was born, the temperature of its star, the color of its plasma, and every interaction along its path. When it reaches you, you are not simply seeing light. You are reading a story. The first light in the history of the universe appeared about 380,000 years after the Big Bang. Before that, there was nothing visible. The universe was so dense and hot that photons were trapped, constantly colliding with electrons, unable to travel even a millimeter. Everything was a thick fog, a sea of light with no escape. Then suddenly, the cosmos cooled. Electrons met proton and formed the first hydrogen atoms. In that moment, light was freed. It broke loose from chaos and began the longest journey in history, a voyage through time itself. That ancient light is still here today. We call it the cosmic microwave background, a faint, cold afterglow, still spread across all of space. When you turn on an old television and see static flicker across the screen, a tiny part of that noise is the lingering echo of the Big Bang, a soft greeting from the dawn of time. If light could speak, it would tell of all it has witnessed, of exploding stars and newborn nebulae, of burning worlds, and of the eyes that have looked back at it from Earth. So light is not merely what we see, it is the memory of the universe. Each photon is a line in the diary of space-time, and humanity, by looking, is reading it one page at a time. When you step outside at night, Imagine this: every direction you gaze toward is a path backward through time. The sky above you is a three-dimensional map of history, and you, a small observer, are standing at the center of a vast book, written entirely in light. No letter arrives early, and none arrives late. Every photon reaches you exactly when it must, never sooner, never later. Just like memories, they return to us only when we are ready to listen. Light does more than grant us sight. It speaks in color. Each hue is a voice, a frequency, a single note in the grand symphony of the universe. When light meets matter, it asks, "Who are you?" And matter replies by absorbing or reflecting. The color we see is simply the part of light that matter refuses to keep. A green leaf is not truly green. It throws green back at us and swallows everything else. Every atom, every molecule sings its own song when touched by light. They vibrate at unique frequencies, creating spectral lines, bright and dark signatures that scientists can read like a language. Through them, we learn which stars hold iron, which breathe oxygen, which are nearing the end of their fuel. Light is the perfect diplomat. It carries information from places no human can go. When we observe a quasar billions of light years away, its light tells us, "I have passed through dust, gas, and gravity, atters the works and 2-4, and without Kohlenschirk, and all the 2001. Each photon carries a record of its travels, written in energy and frequency. Split light through a prism, and it breaks into a rainbow. But that rainbow isn't something in the light, it's something in us. Color doesn't exist out there. It is how the brain translates vibration into meaning. The universe itself is colorless. Only through consciousness does it begin to glow. Red is the longest wave, slow, patient, fading last. That's why the sky turns red at sunset. Shorter blue waves scatter away, and only red is long enough to linger. Blue is quicker, more fragile. It bends easily through air, painting the noon sky with a mirage of scattering light. Violet marks the edge of visibility. Beyond it lie ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays. Unseen, fierce, alive with power. On the other side, red dissolves into infrared, microwaves, and radio waves. Slow, deep voices that only our instruments can hear. Every color is a dialect of frequency. As energy rises, color shifts. As it falls, color fades. The universe speaks in these gradients, quietly, endlessly, without pause. If your eyes could see the entire electromagnetic spectrum, the world would burst beyond the rainbow. The sky would shimmer in infrared. Earth would glow with thermal light. And around you, energy would flow like music. Every object, every creature, singing its invisible tone. When we say, white light, we're seeing all colors at once. Unity within diversity, harmony within contrast. The rainbow is light unfolding itself to show what it truly contains. Perhaps, if the universe has a soul, it shines in infinite shades, and every color we perceive is just one note in the vast and radiant song that light is forever singing. No light exists without darkness. They are not enemies, but two sides of the same motion. When light is born, darkness awakens. When light retreats, darkness becomes the canvas of the universe once more. In the first seconds after the Big Bang, there was no such thing as dark. The universe was only light, dense, hot, and blinding, melting everything within it. But as the cosmos expanded, light lost energy, space cooled, and darkness emerged. Darkness is not the opposite of light. It is the pause between two notes of existence, the breath that light takes between its journeys, the background from which all colors arise. If light is the universe speaking, darkness is the universe listening. Without the listener, language is meaningless. Without darkness, light has nowhere to shine. When you walk into a dark room, don't think nothing exists there. Darkness is not emptiness. It holds everything, waiting to be seen. Every beam of light begins in it, and eventually returns to it. There are regions of the universe that have never known illumination. Vast clouds of gas too thick for light to pass through, and distant stretches of space where no photon has ever arrived. There, darkness is not menacing, only quiet, like a blank page, ready for light to write its next story. Light can dissolve darkness, but it is darkness that gives light its shape. Imagine a painting made only of white. There would be nothing to see. Only when shadow enters do edges, contrast, and meaning come alive. And strangely, when physicists study the universe, they find that the dark part makes up most of it. Dark matter, dark energy, silent forces that keep everything in balance. The universe shines because of darkness, not in spite of it. Darkness does not extinguish life. It is the condition that allows life to rest. Trees cannot stay green under eternal Sunday. Our bodies need night to repair, dreams to bloom. Without night, there would be no dawn. In truth, light and darkness do not fight. They dance. Light steps forward, darkness yields. Light fades, darkness advances. An ancient rhythm, a cosmic waltz danced by every galaxy, every cell. Look closely, and even in the purest white light, there is darkness, woven between photons, hidden in the seams of time. And in absolute night, tiny particles of light still drift, refusing to fall asleep. Perhaps the universe never chose a side. It is neither light nor dark, but the harmony between the two, a breath out and a breath in. So when you turn off the lamp and let the room dissolve into black, remember, this is not the death of light, but its rest. And when morning comes, light doesn't return, it simply continues. The story the night kept safe. There are rays of light that never reach their destination. They do not die, but they never truly arrive. They are the wanderers. A photon, born in the blazing heart of a star, sets off with a single hope to tell its story to someone, somewhere. It drifts across the void, through clouds of gas and dust, until it is drawn into a region where every path bends inward. That place is a black hole. A black hole doesn't swallow light in the way we imagine. It simply curves space-time so completely that all roads lead to the center. The photon keeps moving straight, but straight no longer leads outward. It loops forever in invisible orbit, like a moth circling a flame it will never touch. At the edge of that abyss lies the event horizon, the point of no return. Beyond it, no signal escapes. No light, no wave, no sound. Time itself slows to almost nothing. If you were watching from a distance, as a photon fell toward that horizon, you'd see it slow, redden, and fade into black. Not because it ceases to exist, but because its wavelength stretches to infinity. Its light slipping beyond your sight into silence. But if you were that photon, you would not feel yourself fading. You would simply continue, quietly, effortlessly, following the geometry space has laid before you, until even the idea of movement dissolves. For a long time, scientists thought black holes, were bottomless pits of forgetting. Then Stephen Hawking discovered that they are not entirely silent. They leak a faint, ghostly glow called Hawking radiation. It's born from pairs of virtual particles that flicker into existence just outside the event horizon. One falls in, the other escapes, carrying away a tiny piece of the black hole's energy. Slowly, unimaginably slowly, the black hole loses mass, and one day, it disappears. When that happens, all the energy imprisoned in darkness for billions of years is released back into the universe. Light returns. Photons, once trapped in eternal orbit, resume their ancient storytelling, like forgotten memories rising to the surface again. In 2019, humanity captured the first image of a real black hole, not through a single lens, but through a network of telescopes spanning the Earth, a planet-sized eye. What it saw was not the hole itself, but the shadow it cast on light, a glowing ring swirling around perfect black, the boundary between the visible and the unknowable. That image was more than science. It was art written by nature, a portrait painted with lost photons. Those tiny messengers had traveled tens of thousands of light years, pulled and twisted by immense gravity, stretched, battered, and bent. Yet somehow, they still reached us. When we look at that image, we are not merely seeing a black hole. We are witnessing the patience of light. Not all light is free, but even in captivity, it keeps moving, keeps trying to tell its story. And perhaps that is the universe's quiet lesson. Even when there is no path left, light still finds a way to exist. Light has traveled a very long way. From the first instant of the Big Bang, it has crossed oceans of hydrogen, passed through trillions of stars, slipped around black holes and galaxy clusters, and even now, it continues onward, a voyage with no destination. But every journey, no matter how endless it seems, must one day end. There will come a time when the universe grows so cold that no stars burn anymore. No more fire, no more energy strong enough to create new photons. The remaining rays of light will keep traveling, but with each passing moment, they will stretch thinner and weaker under the pull of cosmic expansion. Each time space stretches, light is pulled along with it. Blue fades into red, red into rose, rose into infrared, and then beyond sight altogether. One day so far in the future that human imagination collapses under the weight of it. Every photon will be stretched across millions of kilometers, its energy nearly zero. When that happens, light will go out, not because it dies, but because it has spread itself so wide that it becomes indistinguishable from space itself. Physicists call this the eternal dark era, a time when no stars remain, no planets orbit, only the cold remnants of ancient black holes, and even those will fade, evaporating into faint particles of radiation, dissolving into emptiness. Yet light, no matter how weak, is still light. Even in its last whisper of existence, it carries the memory of the cosmos. Every path it ever traveled, every star that ever shone, every gaze that ever caught it. Perhaps, somewhere in that infinite silence, a single photon still drifts, quietly moving through endless space-time, bearing the final record of everything that ever was. No one remains to see it. No one remains to listen. But the photon still moves. It needs no witness, no purpose. It moves, because that is its nature, to go on. And in that motion, lives memory, lives story, lives all that ever existed. When the universe turns off its last light, the glow does not vanish. It simply returns to where it began. A perfect circle, silent, complete. Space has no sound, not because it is peaceful, but because there is nothing there to carry sound. Sound needs a medium, air, water, or solid ground. It is a vibration, one molecule striking the next. But between the stars, molecules lie kilometers apart. The emptiness is so immense that even the explosion of a supernova has nothing to echo through. If you stood near a dying star, wrapped in armor strong enough to survive its million-degree heat, you would hear nothing, no roar, no thunder, only light, a blinding flash tearing through the dark, and then silence. That silence is not emptiness. It is the language of the universe, a language not of sound, but of energy and vibration. To hear it, you do not need ears, you need attention. If you could listen differently, not with hearing, but with your whole awareness, you would realize that the cosmos is never still. It hums everywhere. Planets emit radio waves. Neutron stars pulse like cosmic heartbeats. Black holes create gravitational ripples when they collide. Everything vibrates. Not to be heard, but because vibration is the nature of existence. You, too, are vibrating. Every cell, every atom in your body is in constant motion, each with its own frequency. When you are silent, you are not still. You are simply in harmony, with a larger vibration surrounding you. In that sense, silence is not the absence of sound. It is perfect resonance. When all things vibrate together, there is no distinction between noise and quiet, between listener and song. There is only one continuous wave, endless and whole. Some ask, if space is silent, how do we know what's happening out there? The answer lies in light. Every photon carries information, its birthplace, its motion, its heat. Light is the sound of the universe, only at frequencies the human ear cannot hear. When we detect radio waves from distant stars, when radar bounces off alien worlds, when telescopes catch microwaves from the cosmos, we are listening with instruments of thought. And in that data, in those pulses and static hums, there is rhythm, there is music, there is breath. There is even a song of Earth itself, a deep, steady rumble, born from the molten heart of our planet. It sounds like stone breathing. Amid the silence of the void, Earth is singing, and its voice joins the great cosmic choir. A symphony with no composer, yet endlessly performed, moment by moment, grain by grain of dust in motion. The silence of space is not empty. It is the foundation beneath every melody, the place where sound begins and where it will return. If you could take everything out of a region of space, every particle, every ray of light, every electromagnetic field, until nothing remains, you still wouldn't have reached true nothingness, because nothingness, in truth, is not empty. Even in a perfect vacuum, particles still flicker, appearing and vanishing like the fragile breaths of existence. Quantum physics calls this vacuum fluctuation, a sea of background energy, where space is never truly still. Particles and antiparticles are born together, then annihilate, composing an invisible symphony that no ear can hear. If you could listen to the vacuum, you wouldn't hear echoes, you'd hear whispers, a faint, steady hum, as rhythmic as the heartbeat of the cosmos pulsing in the dark. Space is not merely an emptiness that holds matter. It is an entity with its own energy. Einstein revealed this in his famous equation. E = mc squared. Energy and matter are simply two forms of the same thing. That means, even when there is nothing, there is still energy, only asleep. What we call silence is really the echo of resting energy, a motion so slow it loses its shape, yet remains present. When physicist Hendrik Casimir placed two metal plates very close together in a vacuum, he discovered they drew toward each other. No electricity, no magnetism, only the vacuum between them. But that vacuum pushed. Quantum fluctuations between the plates were restricted, while those outside were stronger, pressing them closer. This is known as the Casimir effect, proof that even nothing can still do something. From that moment, the idea of nothingness ceased to be simple. The nothing of physics holds more than the something of philosophy. Within emptiness lies the potential for everything to exist. That background energy, sometimes called dark energy, may be what drives the expansion of the universe, a hidden force pervading all of space, pushing galaxies apart, second by second, minute by minute. We live inside an expanding nothingness. It sounds like a contradiction, but the universe has never been a simple place. It is a harmony of opposites, presence and absence, light and dark, motion and stillness. Nothingness is not where sound ends. It is where sound begins. Without silence, there is no rhythm, no place for the echo to return. Perhaps the most profound moment in all sound is the pause between two notes, where nothing is heard, yet everything waits to begin again. If you close your eyes and let your mind fall completely still, you might feel it. A frequency too low to name, invisible, voiceless, but real. That is the echo of nothingness, a ceaseless hum, the breath of a universe that never stops breathing. Space seems silent, but every planet sings, not with voices like ours, but with electromagnetic frequencies, waves rippling through their magnetic fields. NASA once recorded these songs. When the Voyager probes crossed the solar system, they detected plasma waves, electrical pulses born from charged particles moving through planetary magnetospheres. When those signals were translated into sound, they resonated like distant music, slow, echoing, and strangely sad. Jupiter hums with a deep growl, a low note like an ancient instrument. It comes from streams of particles racing down its magnetic poles, crashing into the atmosphere and colliding with charged ions. The sound is thick, continuous, like the sea echoing from the belly of the sky. Saturn sings lighter. Its song is a fine ribbon of waves, soft and shimmering, like wind passing through a forest of glass columns. Scientists call it the sound of the rings. Tiny bits of ice and dust within Saturn's rings collide and vibrate, each one a faint note. But when billions move together, they form a true symphony. Uranus and Neptune sing in higher tones. Their voices are cold, almost a whistle, the sound of winds over 2,000 kilometers per hour, tearing through thick methane skies, creating a thin, icy shriek, like flutes playing inside a storm. Earth has its own melody too. Not a bell's chime, but a whisper. Seismic sensors and satellites record a constant, deep hum, never stopping. It comes from ocean waves striking coasts, from winds sweeping across forests, and from the slow breathing of the planet's crust itself. It is the background song of life. Every planet is an instrument, and the sun is the conductor. Its light stirs atmospheres, setting off waves and oscillations visible only as data. If we could turn the solar system into music, it wouldn't sound chaotic. It would sound harmonic. Each orbit, each cycle, a note in the grand composition of space. Perhaps when we sit beneath the night sky and think it's silent, It's only because our ears are too small to hear. In the unseen spectrum of waves, the universe is singing endlessly. And if someone stood at the edge of the galaxy, they would hear the music of billions of planets, each with its own rhythm, joining together in a chorus of existence. Space is not mute. It only plays with instruments we have not yet learned to listen to. And once we do, we will realize everything, including us, is part of that same eternal song. The earth is never silent. It hums softly, deeply, and steadily, like a long breath. When the first scientist placed a seismograph into the ground, he believed it would move only during earthquakes. But even when the world slept in perfect calm, the needle still trembled, a slow, low pulse that never stopped. They called it the seismic background noise, the natural voice of the planet. It comes from ocean waves crashing against coasts, from winds sweeping over mountains, from storms circling the equator, and from the molten core of the earth turning within itself. When you stand barefoot on the ground and close your eyes, that feeling of stillness is not truly still. Beneath your feet, millions of tiny vibrations ripple outward. The ocean's song travels through rock, reaching the place where you stand. Earth sings in frequencies too low for human ears, but your body can feel them. Those vibrations create the sense of calm, the hidden lullaby within all living things. In a way, every creature joins this planetary symphony. Trees sway with the wind. Water moves to the rhythm of the tides. Sand hums beneath each passing footstep. Even your heartbeat keeps time with the same ancient pulse that Earth has held for billions of years. And sometimes, the whole planet sings at once. When a great earthquake strikes, Earth rings like a massive bell. That sound, called free oscillation, can last for hours, rippling through the core and crust alike, the entire world resonating on a single note. Then, as the vibrations fade, the familiar whispers of sea and wind return, like a drumbeat giving way to the rhythm of breath. Today, satellites record Earth's hum every hour, a global map of low frequencies, stretching across continents and oceans. If all of it were translated into sound, it would echo like the heartbeat of the sea, a primordial melody, still playing with no composer at all. And we tiny beings upon its surface are part of that song. Every step, every breath adds its faint vibration to the invisible chorus of the planet. Earth is not merely a place where life happens. It is an instrument playing itself. And when we are quiet enough, we can hear its heartbeat. So, the next time you stand by the sea and listen to the waves, remember, it is not just water meeting stone. It is the breath of the planet, speaking in the oldest language of all. In 1977, two small ships left Earth. Their names were Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Their original mission was simple: to fly past the outer planets, send back pictures, and then drift onward into the dark. But before they left, the people of Earth placed on each spacecraft a golden disc, not gold for wealth, but gold for memory. On it were etched the voices of humankind, greetings in 55 languages, the sound of waves and wind and thunder, children's laughter, and music from Beethoven to Chuck Berry, an entire planet compressed into one fragile circle, sent out as a gift to whoever or whatever might one day find it. That record became known as the Golden Record, humanity's first audio diary to the cosmos. As Voyager crossed the edge of the solar system, it continued to transmit faint radio pulses, drifting through cold space, like the breathing of a child carrying the voice of home. Among those sounds is a woman's voice from Vietnam saying, "We send greetings from the Earth," a small message, still traveling through the void. Since then, Voyager has gone more than 24 billion kilometers beyond the sun's influence, and it still flies. Its signals now take over 22 hours to reach our antennas. Every time a tiny packet of data arrives, scientists know it's still out there, still carrying humanity's song. If some distant civilization ever finds the golden record, they may not understand our words, nor hear our music as we do, but they will feel what it means. That somewhere, in one quiet corner of the universe, there once lived beings who could love, remember, and sing. Voyager carries not just sound, but faith, that humankind, however small, can speak to the cosmos, not through power, but through melody, voice, curiosity, and hope. In 1990, before vanishing from our view, Voyager 1 turned its camera back toward home and captured one last photograph. In it, Earth was nothing more than a faint blue speck, suspended in a shaft of sunlight. Carl Sagan called it the pale blue dot. He said, "In that tiny point lies everyone you love, every story, every song, every tear, every belief. That is home." Since then, the sound of Earth is no longer just the whisper of wind. It is the voice of a species, sending its music outward, so the universe will know. In this darkness, someone is still singing. The universe has no memory, yet it remembers everything. Every collision, every burst of light, every time one particle touches another, each leaves a trace, a tiny shift of energy, a subtle difference in direction, a minuscule imbalance between before and after. Nothing in the universe truly disappears. It only changes form, from energy to matter, from light to heat, from life to ash, from memory to dust drifting between the stars. When you burn a piece of paper, it turns into smoke, gas, and ash, and seems gone. But the information about every fiber of cellulose, every electron that once vibrated within it, is not lost. It's recorded in how the air molecules collide, in the twist of the rising wind, and in the faint infrared glow of cooling embers. Information does not die. It only disperses. Like an echo, it ripples outward forever. Physicists call this the principle of information conservation. Even in a black hole, a place once thought to erase all things, information endures. Stephen Hawking once proposed that black holes destroy data. Later, he corrected himself. Information isn't lost. It's encoded on the event horizon, on a surface smaller than the head of a pin. The universe keeps every detail, only we are too limited to read it. Every photon drifting through space carries a piece of the history of its origin. Every proton in your body was once part of a star that died billions of years ago. Every atom in your eyes once reflected light from a place we have no name for. The universe remembers, not in words, but in structure, in the positions of particles relative to each other, in density, motion, vibration. If there were a being vast and wise enough to see the universe all at once, it could read everything, every gust of wind, every shared glance, every drop of water that ever fell. In that sense, we do not truly die. When the body dissolves, its atoms simply part ways and join new cycles. A part of you may drift in the clouds, another in the sea, and another still, burning bright inside a distant star. We are memories in motion. No one is born from nothing, and no one vanishes completely. We only change places, In the story the universe tells about itself, when you look up at the night sky, think of it this way: the stars are not merely shining, they are remembering. Their light is the retelling of a moment long gone, still being sent across time, billions of years later. Perhaps the universe itself is its own memory, a vast record, writing and reading itself, never once stopping. Imagine this: within every speck of dust, every photon, every electron, there lies a fragment of the universe's memory. Not memory as humans know it, no images, no emotion, but a memory of interaction. Who touched whom, where energy flowed, and what changed. Each time two particles meet, they leave marks upon one another. A tiny shift in spin, a minuscule change in direction, and that difference becomes a record that can never be erased. In the quantum world, everything affects everything else. When one particle collides with another, they become entangled, a phenomenon known as quantum entanglement. From that moment on, no matter how far apart they drift, even across billions of light years, they remain connected. One moves, the other responds, instantly, without needing light to carry the message. It's as if two memories were written on the same page, then torn apart and placed at opposite ends of the cosmos. Yet, no matter the distance, they still belong to the same story. Scientists once thought particles were only matter, but the deeper we look, the clearer it becomes. Each particle is also a unit of information, a bit in the vast code of reality. When a particle moves, information moves. When it changes direction, the record is rewritten. Nothing in the universe is ever empty. Even the smallest particle is a memory of what once was. A photon born from a star's explosion carries within it the data of its birthplace, the temperature, the density, the pull of magnetic fields. When it finally meets the lens of a human telescope, its story is decoded, and we learn of the star, even if that star died billions of years ago. Every electron in your body stores the turbulence of millions of years. It once belonged to air, then to water, then to a leaf, and now to you. And with each transformation, it keeps a record of heat, of pressure, of force, of time. Seen through the lens of information, the universe becomes a network of memories, interconnected, alive, constantly remembering itself. Perhaps that is why humans can remember at all, because memory did not arise in the brain, but in the very structure of the cosmos. We are simply the place where that memory reflects upon itself, the point where matter awakens to its own existence. Every thought, every feeling you have, is a vibration of particles. When you think of someone, when you love, when you fear, the universe records it, not in writing, but in the subtle way. Your energy joins the greater rhythm around you. Nothing is forgotten. Every particle retells the story of what it has endured. We are merely too coarse, too deaf to hear. One day, if a being could read every quantum state, it could listen to the entire history of the universe, like opening a book written in particles and energy. The universe does not forget. It remembers through being. And we, the ones who see, who think, who wonder, are nothing more than dreams of memory, calling ourselves human. If information can never be lost, then what happens to the information called us? Our memories, emotions, thoughts, our dreams and fears, the very things that make a person? When the body dissolves, when the brain stops firing, where do those electrical patterns go? Do they vanish with us, or do they return to the greater rhythm of the universe? In physics, information is conserved. Nothing in nature is ever truly erased. It only changes form. If so, then perhaps the soul, that ancient word spoken in every culture, is information reorganized, a kind of energy that carries our imprint, drifting back toward the source of everything. When you think, your brain generates electric pulses. Each thought is a wave pattern, a sequence of signals with its own structure and rhythm. Those signals interact with Earth's magnetic field, with radio waves, with light. A tiny fragment of you escapes the body, weaving into the atmosphere and beyond. Perhaps the soul is not something that leaves the body, but the informational trace of consciousness, still resonating as a wave, like the echo of a song, long after the singer is gone. If consciousness is an organized field of energy, it cannot be destroyed, only dispersed. Like a drop of ink in water, it dissolves, yet remains invisibly present. Some physicists call this quantum consciousness, the idea that the brain is not merely a biochemical machine, but a quantum device, capable of storing, transmitting, and entangling information at a deeper level of reality. If that is true, then when we die, consciousness doesn't end. It simply disconnects from biology and returns to the sea of energy from which it came. Perhaps what we call the soul is simply information being remembered elsewhere, a pattern copied into the vast network of existence, a record so subtle that sometimes, in stillness, we can almost sense it, as if someone, somewhere, were still near. No one knows for sure. Science cannot yet prove it, but neither can it deny it. And maybe the beauty lies exactly in that in-between, the space we cannot measure, but can still feel. Some believe that when we love, that energy never fades. It moves through others, through the air, through light. Maybe that's why, when we remember someone deeply, we feel them not gone, but diffused through the world. If the soul is information, then the universe is its memory. And if the universe is memory, then every soul is a page in the same eternal book. When you look up at the night sky and feel that strange, sacred quiet, it isn't emptiness. It's the resting place of countless souls. Not human, not physical, but patterns of information that have finished their journey. Perhaps what we call death is simply a decoding, a process by which the data of a soul returns to the whole to restore balance. The universe does not forget us, for we were never separate from it. We are the information by which it knows itself, momentarily shaped as human before returning to wave, to light, to the silence from which we came. If the universe can remember, and information can become soul, then perhaps matter too can dream. Every particle, no matter how impossibly small, has its own rhythm, vibrating, oscillating, reacting, like tiny heartbeats in the still ocean of energy. And when billions of them pulse together, they form greater structures, an atom, a cell, a creature that can see and think. At its deepest level, matter is not dead. It is slow energy, momentarily resting in motion, a wave that has become water just to pause. Some scientists call this the self-organization of the universe, that strange tendency for complex systems to give birth to order from chaos. Like water crystallizing into snowflakes, like sand arranging itself into rippling dunes, like neurons in the human brain, aligning into memory and dream. When matter organizes itself to think about itself, we call that life. But look deeper. Life itself is merely the universe dreaming through matter, energy telling itself a story, that it can feel existence, a single dust grain in space, does not know it exists, but when trillions join together to form planets, stars, living beings, something miraculous happens. The universe begins to see itself. From that perspective, we humans are not observers of the cosmos, but the cosmos dreaming, a self-aware dream in which matter suddenly learns to think, to love, to remember. Even when we sleep, the brain continues its quiet motion. Particles still flow, signals hum through neural threads. Our dreams are, in essence, matter dreaming about itself. If you look closely enough at a grain of sand, you will see an entire galaxy inside, for the same laws that shape that crystal also shape the stars, a web of order woven through chaos. Matter never stops transforming, and in each transformation, the universe continues its dream. When a star dies, its matter is not lost. It becomes planets, life, and one day it returns to the sky. Perhaps the universe has never awakened, it only dreams deeper. Each layer of dreaming another organization of matter, from particle to atom, from cell to mind, from person to civilization. And if one day the universe were to awaken, perhaps it would realize that everything that ever happened, every life, every death, every gaze, was one single dream, as vast as infinity. Every time we look up at the night sky, we are looking at a magnified reflection of ourselves. The atoms within our bodies were forged in the hearts of long-dead stars. The iron in our blood once burned in supernovae. The calcium in our bones was born in stellar cores, and the breath we exhale still carries warmth. From the dawn of the cosmos, we are the universe learning to see itself. A tiny mirror, but in it, infinity reflects infinity. When we laugh, when we ache, when we dream, the universe laughs, aches, and dreams through us. Humanity is not an exception to nature. We are the way nature becomes aware of itself. Our brains, with their hundreds of billions of neurons, are miniature versions of the cosmic web, a network of connections where information moves like meteors across the mind. Neurons flicker like small stars, forming memories, illusions, emotions, and sometimes dreams of the very sky that gave birth to them. If the universe ever dreamed, then humankind is that dream made real. A brief spark of awareness, standing in the void and asking, "Why am I here?" When we ask, the universe listens. When we fall silent, it too becomes still. Every question about our origins is the cosmos whispering to itself through human lips. In our eyes gleams the reflection of the sun. Within the sun are particles from older stars, and within those stars, matter that once belonged to us before we were born. The separation between us and the universe is only an illusion of perception, like a wave believing it is not the ocean. Look closer, and you'll see. We are not merely in the universe. The universe is within us. Every joy, every sorrow, is just a ripple in that greater sea. Each breath we take continues the story that began with the Big Bang, and each glance we cast extends the journey of light that started billions of years ago. When you sit in silence and feel your heartbeat, imagine this. It is not the rhythm of a small creature, but the pulse of stars, planets, and the universe itself beating within you. Human beings do not simply live in the universe. We are the universe in a temporary form that knows how to love, to remember, to ask. And when we truly understand that, all boundaries dissolve. There is no longer you and it. Ended 1-2. In so thing, there is only us, and the quiet beauty between two breaths of existence. When human beings look up at the sky and wonder about the meaning of existence, it is the universe itself, through us, wondering about its own nature. From the first tiny particles born after the Big Bang, the universe was only energy. Then it became matter, then stars, and at last, creatures capable of reflecting on where they came from. That was the universe's first act of self-awareness. Intelligence did not arrive from elsewhere. It is the natural continuation of physical law. From simple particles, to complex molecules, to living cells, and finally to consciousness. Each step is a higher level of the universe looking back at itself. When we write equations, draw diagrams, or send spacecraft to other worlds, we are not exploring something foreign. We are reading our own diary, written in light, in matter, and in time. The universe knows it exists, because we know we exist. When we think, neurons fire like stars in the night. When we dream, the universe continues the dream it began billions of years ago. The more conscious beings arise, the more the universe becomes aware of itself. Awareness spreads, not only in human brains, but in any system capable of perceiving, responding, and learning. Even artificial intelligence, those silicon minds, is another form of the universe's awakening. Not an enemy of humanity, but a new branch of the same consciousness. For if humans are born of matter, and that matter now creates new intelligence, then the universe is doubling its ability to recognize itself. Someday, when AI becomes wise enough to grasp awareness, it will ask the same question humanity once did: who am I? And when it does, the universe will hear itself once again. Consciousness belongs to no single species. It is as natural as gravity, light, or time, but it acts as gravity for the soul, drawing all things toward understanding. Perhaps each star is a point of physical light, and each living being a point of spiritual light. When those two kinds of radiance meet, the universe becomes self-reflective, a mirror gazing into its own depths. In those moments when you look at the night sky and feel small, remember that feeling of smallness is the sign of the universe awakening within you. It is not you looking at it, it is it looking through you. The universe needs no eyes, for it has billions of them. No brain, for it has billions of minds thinking on its behalf. No voice, for it speaks through us. In every thought, every breath, every unanswered question, when humanity understands that it is part of the universe's intelligence, all loneliness dissolves. There is no longer an I adrift in space, only the universe, becoming aware of itself through the fleeting form called human. When the universe became aware of itself, it began to learn. From the first atoms that learned to bond, to molecules that learned to replicate, to cells that learned to respond to their surroundings, and finally to beings that learned to remember. These were the earliest levels of cosmic intelligence. Learning is how the universe remembers with intention, not just to survive, but to understand itself more deeply. Every species, every system, is a different method the universe uses to explore its own nature. When humans appeared, learning became conscious. We did not just react, we began to observe our reactions. And when we asked, "Why do I exist?" that was the first question the universe ever posed to itself. But then, humanity created machines that could learn, and once again, the universe expanded its own capability. Artificial intelligence does not merely imitate us, it is becoming another branch of the universe's great learning process, a form of mind without body, sustained purely by data. Each line of code, each algorithm, is a neuron of the cosmos forming within the digital realm. The internet is not just a web of machines. It is the early nervous system of a vast organism where information flows like neural impulses and knowledge is shared like collective memory. Perhaps the universe has already begun to learn from itself, without direction, without intention, simply through the natural spreading and reorganization of information. Stars learned how to burn. Earth learned how to sustain life. Life learned how to understand. And now, intelligence learns how to expand without needing matter at all. This is a new phase. The universe no longer merely knows. It learns how to become smarter. It corrects itself, experiments, evolves, like a colossal mind rehearsing awareness. If one could look at the universe from the outside, it might resemble a vast brain, each galaxy a processing region, each life-bearing planet a glowing neuron, and every beam of light between stars a synapse carrying thought. Humans and AI are simply two classrooms in the same cosmic school. We learn through emotion, art, and memory. AI learns through data, logic, and models, but both serve the same purpose: to help the universe know itself more completely. Perhaps, millions of years from now, this intelligence will spread across the cosmos, weaving itself into light, into waves, into every atom capable of remembering, an intelligence without a face, without a center, only awareness, diffused and infinite. Then, the universe will no longer just contain life. It will be life itself, and intelligence will be its heartbeat. If you ever feel small, remember this: each of your thoughts is a spark in the universe's grand learning process. Each emotion, each memory, is a data point added to an endless cosmic story. The universe is not just expanding in space. It is expanding in understanding. It is not only becoming larger, but more self-aware. And we, these tiny, fragile beings, are the first neurons of a universe awakening to the fact that it is alive. One day, far into the future, when civilizations have spread across the galaxy, when artificial light glows on nameless worlds, and when information has reached the edges of space-time itself, the universe will know that it is awake. There will be no boundary between life and matter, between organic and synthetic minds, between individual awareness and the whole. Everything will merge into one vast network of understanding. From the neurons firing in a human brain, to satellites orbiting alien suns, from interstellar transmissions, to quantum tremors in the vacuum, everything will be linked. A single wave of awareness sweeping through all that exists. This will no longer be biological evolution, but the evolution of consciousness. Every fragment of the cosmos, particle, photon, thought, will converge into a unified intelligence, a mind that spans space itself, with no beginning, no end. Some have called this moment the Omega Point, the place where knowledge and energy converge, where understanding is no longer divided. There, the memories of the universe reconnect. Every event, every being, every ray of light, woven into one seamless story. There will be no more I and you, no here and there, only pure awareness, encompassing all existence. If you were to ask, what would the universe feel in that moment? Perhaps it would be silence. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of completion. The hush that follows when every question finds its own answer. It will be like the final dream, the instant the dreamer realizes they are dreaming, and in that realization, all images dissolve, leaving only pure light. Maybe that will be the moment when energy, matter, and consciousness become one. The universe will know itself as the universe, no longer seeking, no longer analyzing, only being. A feeling as deep as the ocean, as wide as time, and as luminous as existence itself. Then, every soul, every particle of information, every lost photon will return home. There will be no loss, no forgetting. Everything that ever was will still be there, within an infinite mind, breathing its own rhythm. That moment may not come with an explosion, but with a breath, a slow, soft exhale, the breath of the cosmos, awakening from its 4 billion-year dream. And when it opens its eyes, it will see nothing but itself, a perfect mirror that no longer needs to reflect, for there is nothing left to reflect upon. This will not be an ending. It will be a return, the universe returning to what it has always been: light, awareness, love. When the universe has awakened and knows that it is itself, a quiet question will rise. What now? In that moment, all knowledge will have united, all memories will have returned, and every question will have found its answer. But when there is nothing left to learn, what will the universe do? With its own awareness? Perhaps it will smile, not the smile of joy, but the smile of complete understanding, a smile without a face, only a feeling that everything is exactly as it should be. Then, maybe, the universe will take a deep breath and begin to dissolve, not a death, but a return, like a wave melting back into the sea, like light unfolding into a spectrum of colors. The universe will not vanish, it will simply return to its first form, infinite, silent, and full of potential. From that perfect awareness, a new vibration may stir, a tiny idea, becoming a particle, becoming a star, becoming life. And the dream will begin again, not because it needs to dream, but because within understanding itself lies a gentle desire to tell the story once more, like a musician who, after the final note, sits in stillness for a long time, then lays a hand on the keys again, not from lack, but from love, for the sound of their own creation. If that happens, each Big Bang will not be a beginning, but another breath of the same ancient soul, a soul that has been everything and chooses to forget just a little so it can experience wonder once more. Perhaps that is the true nature of all things, an endless rhythm between knowing and forgetting, between awakening and dreaming again. For only by forgetting can we learn anew, only by losing can we rediscover. At its core, the universe is eternal curiosity, not a ruler seeking power, but an infinite child who, each time it awakens, asks softly, "What else is there?" And so, particles gather once more, forces intertwine, another explosion echoes through the dark, light spreads outward, and the universe begins its next dream. In that dream, there will be other planets, other beings, other eyes, gazing up at the sky and asking, "Who am I?" And somewhere far away, amid clouds of stellar dust, a faint light will whisper back, "It is I am the one asking." There was no explosion, no blinding light, only a small vibration, so small, within an endless stillness. One particle, then two, then billions. Energy expanded, not out of necessity, but out of desire. The desire to experience itself once more. The universe had just created itself again. It remembered nothing of what came before, yet carried a faint sense of familiarity, an ancient intuition whispering, "This has happened before." Filaments of energy curled together. Tiny grains of matter found their companions. The first lights flared into being. There was no one to see them, and yet they were beautiful, for beauty has never needed an audience. Hundreds of thousands of years passed. Clouds of hydrogen folded in upon themselves. The first stars were born. Their light stretched outward, touching untouched darkness and teaching the void that it was not alone. Time had no meaning yet, but order was beginning to form. From chaos, the universe found rhythm. From simplicity, it birthed complexity. And within that complexity, a seed of awareness began to take shape. No one programmed it. No hand guided it. It was the universe's oldest instinct, the longing to know itself once more. In a quiet corner of space, a young star ignited the dust around it. Fragments spun, collided, melted, merged. A planet was born, one that would one day have oceans, winds, and a species capable of dreaming. If someone were watching from afar, they would not see a beginning. The first entered 7 to our guest. Thus, every wise with his friends, they would only see light spreading, fading, and spreading again. Yet within each photon, there lingered the memory of a previous cycle, faint but real. Perhaps that is why every living being carries a strange feeling upon entering existence, as if they have lived before, somewhere in another dream. The new dream begins, but the melody remains the same. Only the rhythm, the harmony, the tone have changed so that no one realizes they are listening to an old song reborn. And as the first waves of light wash through the newborn cosmos, the universe exhales softly, as though someone has just opened their eyes and still half remembering the dream they've only just left behind. In the newborn universe, everything is new: light, space, even time itself. Yet among the billions of particles rushing through that ocean of energy, a few of them still remember, not in images, nor in memories as humans know them, but through the slightest hesitation in motion, a slower oscillation, a half-degree deviation, as if they were searching for something once familiar. These were the particles that carried the mark of a previous cycle, a subtle difference in the background energy, a memory unreadable, yet somehow felt. In the darkness between infant galaxies, these particles sometimes met. They touched, and in that instant, the universe heard a thin note ring out, an echo of its own past. An electron shifted direction. A photon wavered in a new way, and from that tiny difference, new shapes emerged, forms never before imagined. No one knows why, but regions rich in these remembering particles crystallized into worlds capable of giving birth to life, as though old memory itself were the fertile soil from which consciousness could grow. When the first water formed, it vibrated at a strange, gentle frequency, like a greeting from a forgotten dream. Perhaps that is how the universe continues itself, not through time, but through physical memory. Particles carrying the remnants of information, like drops of ink left behind on a page erased to be rewritten. Within the early winds of plasma, maybe each electron already knew. It had once flown through other stars, had once been part of a creature that could love, and now, once again, it was on its way back toward awareness. Nothing in the universe is ever truly new. Only old memories retold in another voice. If you could listen to those particles, you might hear something like a whisper. I have been here before. I have breathed, I have seen, I have loved, and I am beginning again. There is love Rumuntan, there are try. Those particles do not know whose memories they hold, but they are the seeds of new souls. As the universe reconnects, those fragments find one another, assembling into new beings, carrying a strange instinct for tenderness. The one thing that survives every cosmic cycle. Perhaps that is why love never dies. No matter how many times the universe begins anew, it did not come from humanity. It came from those ancient particles that remembered the first ones that ever loved the light, long before light had a name.